I can't really go more than 3 or 4 days without going into the Quabbin. It draws me in.
There's something very, very special here. This land is extremely sacred.
The earliest native inhabitants here called it Quabbin, the place or meeting of many waters. But the Nipmuc Indians were referring to the confluence of rivers here. Little could they have known that one day the Quabbin would refer to the largest inland body of water in Massachusetts. 75 miles west of Boston in central Massachusetts, the Quabbin Reservoir today comprises 40 square miles and just over 180 miles of shoreline. It was the Swift River and its tributaries that long ago drew natives here, and it was the same water and the valley it ran through that drew engineers here a century ago. The increasing water demands of the Boston metro area had already outgrown a series of smaller reservoirs, forcing a search for more supply further and further west. In the Swift River Valley, they found it.
The fact that we're up so high allows the water to flow by gravity. From here, we're 530 feet above sea level. So the elevation played into it. And then the quantity of water in the valley was conducive to building a massive reservoir with 2 dams, the Windsor Dam and the Goodnoe Dike.
It didn't happen overnight, and as we'll see, it didn't happen without pain. With the dams in place, it took a decade for the Quabbin to fill, but by the 1940s, water was running east, and with 412 billion gallons now on tap, Boston's thirst is finally quenched. Today, the MWRA is responsible for getting water to Boston as well as several towns that surround the Quabbin, but it's land as well as water that makes the Quabbin unique.
One of the things I think a lot of people don't understand is the amount of management that goes into the land, because that's how we protect the water.
The Massachusetts Department of Conservation and Recreation is responsible for managing and safeguarding both the land and the water itself at the Quabbin. Even with protections, the nearly 55,000 acres within the watershed itself allow an unusual level of public access, making the Quabbin today part public water supply, part public park. But less evident to many visitors is that the Quabbin is also a living memorial. Creating it in the 1930s required 2,500 people to uproot their lives and move. The state paid for their land, and that was about it. The former towns of Dana, Enfield, Prescott, and Greenwich were disincorporated and essentially wiped from the map as the valley they sat in was flooded. Of the 4 flooded and lost towns, the high ground of Dana's town center, the Common, remains as the most visible and accessible memorial to life pre-reservoir. But if you know where to look, you can also find echoes of that past elsewhere all around the Quabbin. Dana Common is indeed a sad and eerie place where photos of former homes stand as mute reminders, their stones and cellar holes left behind like unburied bones. Visitors walk through as if through a cemetery, for here lay a hotel and here a general store. At the Quabbin Park Cemetery in Ware, memorials to the 4 lost towns, as well as a final resting place for some of those who were disinterred, monuments that once proudly stood in towns that no longer exist.
They might have got $100 an acre for their land, and they said, go find somewhere.
Suzanne Cooley Martin of the Swift River Valley Historical Society is used to sharing the story of the Quabbin's 4 lost towns with visitors who often know little about the history. And there's nowhere to get more of a sense and feel of that past than the Society's museum on the edge of the Quabbin in New Salem. The 180-plus-year-old Prescott Methodist Episcopal Church, this is its 3rd place that it has sat.
This is the 3rd spot.
Indeed, after its pre-reservoir life in Prescott, it moved to Orange, Mass., then in the 80s to here and the museum. From the carriage shed, bristling with large and colorful artifacts of the 4 lost towns, to an entire house, from room to room, each dedicated to a town of the Quabbin, each telling stories.
Stepping back in time to the days when the reservoir was not here.
It's a history that's personal for Suzanne Cooley Martin. Her father was a teen when his parents and grandparents were forced to leave the town of Dana.
I remember my father telling me that his grandfather was devastated.
These were not affluent people.
Farmers, shopkeepers, just ordinary, everyday people whose life was right there.
Although Suzanne Cooley Martin returned to Dana with her late father, many other residents of the four lost towns never returned to the Quabbin. For many of their descendants, however, there is more interest in remaining connected to this unique history. Every year, on the third Sunday in July, a reunion is held on Dana Common for families of the four lost towns. Up next, beware of bears.